Welcome back to the channel, everyone! It is a beautiful day to dive into some serious Port Charles drama, so grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's get right into it because today's updates are absolutely wild. I cannot even process what I am watching right now. I am literally typing this at 2 in the morning because my brain will not turn off after seeing the preview for Tuesday, April 14. Are you kidding me right now with this show? I have been watching General Hospital religiously since 2015, and I swear, sometimes the writers just want to see how high they can spike my blood pressure. We need to talk about this absolute mess at the hospital, the ridiculousness happening at the Quartermaine mansion, and whatever the heck Sonny Corinthos is thinking right now. But first, I have to scream about Lucas Jones and Isaiah Gannon because my jaw actually dropped. React first, explain later, right? I am just so incredibly frustrated with how they are handling this entire medical crisis. So, Lucas is absolutely losing his mind on Isaiah, and honestly, I am here for it. Lucas gets right in Isaiah's face in the preview and demands, "What the hell were you two doing that required life-saving measures?" And I am just sitting here screaming at my screen because finally someone is asking the right questions. Listen, I know Isaiah has been dealing with Lulu and Rocco's secret house call regarding that infected hand. I know he was tied up at the cabin or Lula's house, and that's why he wasn't at the hospital when Jordan was wheeled in completely unresponsive. But what on earth is happening in Jordan's room right now? Did Isaiah try to do something off the books? Did he and someone else mess up her stabilization? Wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Let me back up. We all know Jordan Ashford is in catastrophic condition. She was brought in on a stretcher with a nasty gash on her face, completely unconscious, and they are heavily hinting at a traumatic brain injury. And Curtis is pacing the halls, terrified, screaming for a doctor. But here is the thing that makes me want to throw my remote at the wall. Curtis caused this. He and Jordan were making out like teenagers in the front seat of a moving vehicle. They were full-on distracted driving. But the narrative is completely ignoring that and acting like it was just some tragic, unavoidable accident. And now, Stella Henry is approaching Curtis with this incredibly serious, grim expression on her face, and Curtis looks like he is about to have a heart attack. He immediately grows alarmed and wonders if there has been a change in Jordan's condition. Is Stella the other person Lucas is yelling about? Did Stella and Isaiah go into Jordan's room and try some experimental treatment? Or wait, could it be Portia? We know Portia was with Isaiah at the cabin earlier. Is it possible Portia did something? I mean, think about the history there. I know Portia is trying to keep the peace and just agreed to let Stella decorate the nursery, but the tension is always bubbling under the surface. If Portia or Stella did something that caused Jordan to crash and require life-saving measures right there in the ICU, I am going to lose my mind. Lucas is a professional, and seeing him snap like this proves that whatever happened was a massive, massive protocol breach. And while we are on the subject of the crash, I just have to go off on a tangent here because I am still so angry about Brooklyn. Am I the only one who sees what the writers are doing? They showed Brooklyn's empty wine glass at Charlie's pub. They are heavily implying that she was tipsy, veered off the road, and caused the domino effect that made Charlotte and Danny crash, which then made Jordan swerve. It is so insulting to our intelligence! We literally saw Jordan take her eyes off the road to kiss Curtis. Why is Brooklyn being framed as the fall guy for this? I have loved Brooklyn's redemption arc so much, and making her the villain here just feels like lazy, repetitive storytelling. Remember when they tried this kind of character assassination before? Yeah, didn't work then either. Which brings me to the absolute tragedy unfolding at the Quartermaine mansion. Brooklyn is over there telling Ned that she and Chase have been conditionally approved to foster baby Phoebe, and Ned is so excited. He is thrilled about having a baby in the house again. It is such a sweet, wholesome moment, and I should be happy, but am not. I am dreading it, because we all know this is the calm before the storm. The writers are building Brooklyn up, giving her this beautiful family moment with Ned and Chase, just so they can rip it all away when the police come knocking about the crash. It makes me sick to my stomach. They are going to ruin her marriage and her foster application for something that wasn't even her fault. Okay, deep breath. Back to the point. Let's pivot to the other massive headache at the Quartermaine mansion, Nina Reeves and Willow Kane. Because, of course, Nina cannot mind her own business for 5 seconds. Nina is grilling Willow, asking her why she would do anything for the Quartermaines. And I am just rolling my eyes so hard they might get stuck. Nina, honey, you are causing problems again. But Willow's response is what really gets me. Willow argues that the answer should be obvious because it's really about helping Chase. She reminds Nina that Chase stepped up in a massive way when she was on trial for shooting Drew Kane. And wow, the absolute audacity of Willow right now. I can't even with her. She is playing this role of the benevolent, grateful friend who is just trying to help Chase and Brooklyn foster a baby. She is acting like she's doing this out of the goodness of her heart. But let's be real, Willow is sweating bullets. She is terrified. She knows that Kai Taylor and Trina Robinson know the truth about her shooting Drew. She knows her entire future, as Congresswoman Kane is hanging by a thread. She is conditionally approving this foster placement despite the social worker's concerns because she needs allies. She is manipulating the situation under the guise of gratitude. Remember when Willow was just the sweet school teacher? Yeah, those days are long gone. She has become so calculated. She is using her power and her connections to cover her tracks. And the fact that she brought up the Drew Kane trial to Nina is just wild to me. It's like she's trying to convince herself of her own righteousness. But we all know she privately asked Chase to look into Kai's name in the shooting investigation under the guise of a background check. She is actively using Chase's police resources to protect her own dark secret while smiling to his face and giving him a baby. It is brilliantly soapy, but it makes me hate her right now. I know some people are loving this dark, desperate version of Willow, but personally, I miss when characters had actual morals. She is putting her entire family at risk. What happens when Michael finds out? Michael is over there trying to get Kai to give Wiley private Little League lessons. The irony is just too much. Michael is inviting the one guy who knows his wife's darkest secret right into their home, and Willow just has to smile and nod while inside she is completely panicking. It's a ticking time bomb, and when it goes off, the fallout is going to be biblical. I am honestly dreading the moment the truth comes out, but at the same time, I am grabbing my popcorn because it is going to be epic. Alright, let's shift gears completely because I need to talk about Sonny Corinthos and ADA Justine Turner. Because I am honestly baffled by this dynamic. So, Justine goes to Sonny and delivers this dire warning. She just had a conversation with Jen Sidwell at GH, and suddenly she is sounding the alarm. She tells Sonny that he is in way more danger than he thinks and that the stakes are incredibly high. And what does Sonny do? He teases her. He teases her for proving she cares about him. Sonny, are you out of your mind? Jen Sidwell is not some low-level street thug you can just intimidate. This man is a grieving, enraged father who fully believes you murdered his son, Marco Rios. And Sonny is standing there making flirty little jokes with the ADA? I swear, Sonny's arrogance is going to get someone killed. He thinks he is untouchable. He thinks because he survived the mob wars of the 2000s that he can just brush off Sidwell. But Sidwell is lethal. We saw him at the funeral. We heard him tell someone to get rid of her permanently. This man is playing for keeps. And let's talk about Justine for a second. Just last week, Justine was strutting around telling Jordan, "I'll handle Mr. Sidwell." She was so cocky. She thought because she's the ADA, she could just put him in his place. But clearly, whatever Sidwell said to her at the hospital completely shattered that illusion. She looked genuinely rattled in the preview. She realized that Sidwell is shifting the blame all over Port Charles and that he will find a scapegoat if he has to. She realizes that her little badge means nothing to a man with that much money, power, and grief. I kind of feel bad for her, but also, she brought this on herself by underestimating him. I just find it so incredibly frustrating that the audience knows the truth and the characters are all running around blind. We know Ross Cullum killed Marco Rios. We know Cassius Faison and Britt Westbourne are keeping that secret because Cullum controls Britt's medication. If Sonny just knew the truth, he could point Sidwell at Cullum and be done with it. But instead, Jason Morgan is rotting in WSB custody, taking the fall for Rocco shooting Cullum. Danny Morgan is plotting revenge against the WSB because he thinks Sidwell orchestrated the peer events, and Sonny is flirting with the ADA while a hitman is probably loading a sniper rifle across the street. It is just a massive web of lies, and I am so stressed out watching it all unravel. And don't even get me started on Rick Lansing. Rick is actually the only one making sense right now. He warns Sunny that Sidwell would retaliate. He is the only one who sees the big picture, but of course, nobody listens to Rick until it's too late. History just keeps repeating itself in Port Charles. Sunny pushes away the people who actually try to help him, and then acts surprised when everything blows up in his face. It is exhausting to watch, but I literally cannot look away. So, what is going to happen on Tuesday? I honestly don't know if my heart can take it. If Lucas finds out that Isaiah or Stella jeopardized Jordan's life, the medical board is going to descend on GH like vultures. Lucas is already dealing with enough stress, what with Pascal wanting to murder him to avenge Marco. Lucas does not need this, and if Ned starts buying baby clothes for Phoebe while Brooklyn is secretly sweating over a hit-and-run investigation, I am going to cry real tears. They are setting the Quartermaines up for absolute devastation, and if Sunny doesn't start taking Sidwell seriously, we are going to be attending another funeral before May sweeps even start. Sidwell is already opening up to Ava Jerome, making her his confidant. Ava knows how to play the game, and if she aligns herself with Sidwell while Sunny is distracted by Justine, Sunny won't even see the knife coming until it's in his back. The layers to this storyline are insane, and I am so here for it, even if it gives me an ulcer. I am just so emotionally invested in these fictional people, it's actually embarrassing, but that's what makes General Hospital so good, right? Even when I am complaining, even when I am screaming at my television, I am glued to the screen. I cannot wait to see how Willow talks her way out of Nina's interrogation. I cannot wait to see Lucas lay down the law in the ICU. And I am definitely dreading whatever Sidwell is planning next. Let me know what you guys think, because I need to know. I'm not the only one losing my mind over this.